motion graphics. Today, before I'm starting with the practical session in motion graphics, let me just introduce to you three key elements of motion graphics. I have good answers from you people. Let me pull those points and put in a proper chronological order and make understanding about motion graphics. The first key elements of motion graphics is going to be these 3 points. Icons are over here. Never get panic about seeing the icons. I'm just going to give you 3 different elements, which is much important to be a motion graphics artist. To start with motion graphics, we need core softwares, of course, yes, like Photoshop, like Illustrator, like Premiere, like After Effects. These are the softwares which is from the Adobe company. If you have an alternative software to work, maybe if you're working on Wondershare and many plugins and softwares are there in the industry, right? Doesn't matter what software you're going to work, but people prefer to use Adobe on a proper standards basis. Now, whichever the software you're going to work is in your hand, the tool is going to teach you, or GUVI is going to teach you motion graphics only based on first part is visualization. The icon, what you look over here in the left-hand side is based on visualization. The first thing any motion graphics artist should have in his mind is visualization. You need to first of all visualize how an animation is going to happen or how an image is going to move. So visualization is a very common term. If anybody is asking me a question back, what is visualization? I say very simply, your animation has to run in front of you, like a dream, like a dream, like a dream. I'm keeping it 3 times as a quote, like a dream, like a dream, like a dream. Your animation has to run in front of you. If you prepare to write an animation, there is a script for animation, there is a script for motion graphics also. When you start thinking about something to move from one place to another place, that is called moving the position in motion graphics. So you have to visualize when you need to move the position of an object. So the first part of any animation or any graphics is visualization. You need to first visualize how the animation has to happen, how many elements has to be used, how many props has to be used, what text has to be used, or what color or shape has to be used. So the first part of your motion graphics is visualization. The second part, I guess the icon is showing. What is the second icon? Can anybody say?
I think timing.
Very good, very good. Thanks for the broad
duration. Duration, that is animation.
Timing and duration. Yep, whatever.
Frame timing.
Yep. So yeah, thanks to GUVI again for getting good audience here. So the second part is going to be animation timing. So everything is based on timing for animation. Everything is based on timing for motion graphics. Now keep the word motion graphics. If I use multiple times, you people will think why I'm using this. Let us keep a common term for this called animation for timing. Animation. So anything happens on your computer, for a movement, we need a proper timing. Whether it is going to move or rotate or scale. We used to call STR, not the hero STR. If you're from down south, then you know STR is a hero. Not STR is not that. When you come to animation world, the STR is going to be scaling, transformation, rotation. When these 3 controls are in proper timing, your motion graphics is excellent. When your timing on scaling, transformation, rotation. You know what is scaling, I guess. You know what is rotation. Yes. What is transformation? Transformation or transform means moving from place to place, positioning the particular object. So when these STR elements is perfectly matched, your animation is perfectly matched. What is the third one? Any guesses? Any guesses for the, yeah?
It's like animation, like moving picture, like moving picture.
Motion.
Giving direction to a particular.
Yeah, just give me a second, if you don't mind. Just give me a second. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry for that. I had a call from my office. Yep. So yeah, the third one, I guess somebody guessed it right. It is motion, moving, the movement.
Yeah,
We don't call moment. There's a difference in English. I'm not here to teach English, but even then, every day when I take classes for the students in my time, I used to say moment is different and movement is different. So we are talking about movement, M-O-V-E-M-E-N-T, movement, motion. So three key elements which helps you to make a good motion graphics artist is going to be visualization, timing, motion. When you visualize to move an object in a proper motion by giving proper keyframes for your timing animation, then your animation or graphics will be better. Now, in between, I used one terminology. Can you say what is that?
Keyframe.
Very good. Keyframes. So keyframes, that is very, very, okay, let me switch on my video at least so that I feel like a classroom. Yep, I switched on mine. Never mind. Currently, I have taken a leave from a regular work, so I'm like this. So yes, the guess is right. It's going to be keyframe. So keyframe is a terminology which I used recently now with you people for animation purpose. Yep. I think this is visible now. The first one is going to be visualization. The second is going to be timing, and the third one is going to be motion. Let me say the other parts which helps for majorly on animation. What are the animations which you require on the screen? What are the animation work which you require on the screen helps you to work on certain elements. Those elements are going to be colors, shapes, typography, or text. Keep the word typography aside, we call it as text. Now, colors and shapes, I think you people are much aware about it. I'm not going to give any detailing about colors and shapes, but let me give you a simple answer. What is a color mode which we use for web and online purpose? Any answers for that?
RGB mode.
Yeah, very simple as such. It's going to be RGB. So anything which we are going to present it over web or for monitor purpose or for your web-based or monitor or film-based purpose, anything we use, it is a RGB color modes. So colors and shapes plays a major role for any animation. If you are good enough to understand the contrast colors and the bicolors, for example, what color to be used for the background, what color can be used for the foreground, and how the colors are playing an important for your animation or for your text animations, whatever. I'm going to show a sample so that you can understand more better now. And typography, why typography? Because like readability is much more important than anything. Your animation is the perfect, but if your font is not visible, maybe the font size is not visible, or maybe the font style is disturbing the person to look into it, what is the purpose in creating an animation? Or what is the purpose in creating a proper motion graphics? So readability and proper typography, proper text information to be delivered for any motion graphics. The third key point which I kept is elements. It can be of anything which supports your animation. It can be of anything which supports your animation. For example, line, dot, shape, circle, rectangle, triangle, whatever the elements you are going to use, any mathematical shapes which you are using is called elements here, which you import from Photoshop, or maybe you're importing from Illustrator or from any third-party software like Canva. Even you want to get it from Canva, you can get it from Canva. But people are using Canva nowadays. I mean, for past 1 year, they're popularized with Canva, but Canva has its own negatives. If you think that Illustrator is not needed and I do it with Canva, I want to break an ice here for you people. Don't do it. Let me go beyond my limits on teaching motion graphics today. Don't use Canva for motion graphics. If you think, why I need to learn Illustrator in motion graphics, I think you have seen the curriculum. Yes? Yes from everyone? Yep. You had an idea about the curriculum? Any answers?
No.
No? Okay, fine. Let me say the curriculum will be having a Photoshop, will be having Illustrator, will be having the motion graphics software After Effects and then Premiere. Yep. So if you ask me, like, why do we need to use yeah, let me just minimize it. Am I visible? Like, is my screen visible?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yep, it is visible. That's fine. That's fine. So if you are asking me, like, why do we need to use Illustrator rather than Canva? Canva is just an AI tool which cannot give you the same resolution what exactly we need unless and until you buy a pro version. I think you know what is a pro version, right? Yep.
Yes.
Yes, thanks. So the last point in our presentation, after this we go with the practical work. Hope so the audience is yet awake. Can I get a hi from somebody? Yes. Can I get a hi from somebody? Yes. Some people have raised their hands. Yes, yes, that's great. Yeah, thank you. So the last point which we exactly need to talk about is about understanding the framing methods in After Effects or maybe in any motion graphics based software. So we need to understand that we are going to use PNG sequences or Targa sequences or TIFF sequences. These are the sequences which we use, and we use it based on frames. Yep. So the three things which I have mentioned over here is one is JPEG, the second one is PNG, the third one is frames. Now, frames is a general terminology. Don't get confused with the terms frames here. JPEG sequences we use and PNG sequences we use. I'll show you how the sequence also look alike. Yep. This is very basic. What I am showing you is on a time constraint to make you understand about the basics of motion graphics. So let me just give a recap within 2 minutes and go to the practical work. The first point over here, what we have seen is about the three key elements of any motion graphics software or any motion graphics output. One is going to be visualization. The second part is going to be timing. And the third one is going to be motion. Motion, M-O-T-I-O-N, moving, movement. The second part, what we had is like, what are the elements which helps you for motion graphics? Colors, shapes, text, or typography. And then it's going to be elements. The next part, yeah, I didn't get you. Yeah, Prashant. Yeah, Prashant, you're about to say something. Prashant. Okay, fine. So the next part, what we had a discussion is about having a proper sequence of frames, and the frames will be in a format of either JPEG or PNG in common. Sometimes it can be Targa or TIFF. So these are, it's going to be a little bit extra information for you when you're starting with the day one class, but just as an information I've given a gather. Can we just go with a practical what? Yep. Yeah. Can we? Yeah.
Sir, I have a doubt related to software. Can I ask now or at the end?
One second. Let me just initially, let me just stop sharing my screen. Then I can get it. Yeah, please.
Sir, related to software, I have a doubt. In my laptop, I can use Illustrator and Photoshop. There is an issue with After Effects and another software you mentioned. What we can do, alternate for that two softwares or any other software that can easily come with my, my specification based on my laptop specification.
Fine, that's great. Go for a lower version. Always, I prefer to use a lower version rather than using a newer version.
That is
for example, like we do have versions on softwares, maybe like CC 2023. There is a versions which are running currently into the industry. Like I don't want you to preferably using 23. Rather go with 2020 or maybe 2019. That requires very less RAM and that requires very less configuration for you to work onto it. Only we are not going to touch with any upgradation here because upgradation is based on plugins. There are upgradation based on some effects and presets, some LUTs. LUT is something which is big terminology, forget about it. Anything which is upgraded in 2021, 22, 23 will be something which is an additional from the advanced and basic levels of your animation. So go for a lower version of the same software. That's more than enough for you to work on for the classes. If suppose you feel like it's really tough to work on, you get cloud versions online. For anybody, it is easy for you to purchase a cloud version. If you're serious to learn about it and make a job in future, you can go for a cloud version online and you can purchase it for a month or a 2. As a student version, it is more cheaper for anybody to buy it, and it's affordable to buy it. Now you're saying about Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, all these are tools. You're going to learn the core concept. It can be of any software you're going to work. The concept is going to be the same. Affordability problem that is going to be on your hand. You're going to work on cloud-based softwares are also available. I don't think so. There is more costly for you because, as I said, like if you take and choose motion graphics as your future, maybe like $2,000 you can get an online cloud-based softwares for all these versions. Got it. So tools actually doesn't matter at all now, but we are specifically giving Adobe, anybody who is specifically giving Adobe for more than 35 years there in the industry, like Adobe, not 35 years, before that also, but to my knowledge, like 35 years down the line, it is there, upgraded with. And once you get something from such a kind of a big giant company, I'm sure that that will be the end user product. I think you understand what is an end user product. So anything which comes from Adobe, that is an end user product. So if somebody who is there in this industry newly, maybe you can take Wondershare. I think you people know who is Wondershare. Yes? Anybody know about them, like Wondershare? Okay, if you don't know, like you can browse online and you can find about Wondershare. That's another alternative company who is giving an editing based software here. They are another alternative based company, but again, they have their own pros and cons. We can't exactly expect the same beneficial things which you got from Premiere will be a substitute also over there. Yep. So let me just put the questions at the last and go with the practical one now. Yeah, can we? Yep. Let me start up and sharing a screen now. Fine. So the software what you're seeing currently is going to be Adobe After Effects. And this particular version, I think 2021, somebody asked me about the configuration even in i3 with a 4 GB RAM and with the basic Intel based graphics also, this 2021 will work out. To my knowledge, yes, it will work out. But what I'm using currently is a Lenovo gaming pad. So don't be comparatively using the same laptop or same versions of labs. So now to answer the question, the person who asked earlier, even an i3 with a lower end version, i3 and 4 GB or 8 GB RAM with Intel HD inbuilt graphic card also, 2020 or 2021 version will work. Only difference is it will take time for you to export or load the graphics. That we can't do anything. That is only based on the computer. Okay. So let me start with some basics here. Now, before I'm starting with anything on a software, generally I used to show them how the software has been, user interface has been built up. I think everybody is new to user interface of Adobe. Is it? Yep, I think you people are very new to user interface of Adobe.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Okay,
No.
some years and some years and some no. Okay, can I take 50-50?
Yeah.
Fine, that's great. So now I think Manimaran, you can mute.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you very much. It happens for everyone. Thank you. Yep. So, yeah, it's fine. So if you are very new to this understanding user interface of any software, it can be of Adobe or it can be of any software. One simple thing all you need to do is like take that into multiple parts, split it into multiple parts. I think you're able to see my screen. I'm going to split this into multiple parts. Let me just close this off and just create a new project. Okay, I'm creating a new project totally here. And when you look into it, when I look into this new project over here, it's very simple for you to, okay, let me just close the video because it takes time. Yep. So when you look into the new project here, you can easily look into it and find out how the total user interface is built up. The first part is you have to go with the L shape, L shape, L shape. This is L shape interface, L shape interface. Now, what is this L shape interface? It can be of editing. Editing it is Z shape. Now, for After Effects, it's going to be L shape. Now, whatever the project you're going to work on, that's going to be on the left-hand side. And the project timeline is going to be on the bottom. Yep. And then your properties will be there on the right side. The project will be on the left-hand side. Your timeline will be in the bottom part, and your properties will be on the right side. So again, I'm just simply repeating it. Your project is going to be on the left-hand side. Your timeline is on the bottom line, and your properties on the right-hand side. How did I set up this part? Every software will be having in Adobe an option called Windows, which helps you to create your workspace. Now, the term what I use for creating such kind of a workspace based on my purpose is panel. P-A-N-E-L, panel. What is a panel? Everything what you look here, when I click it, it highlights on blue, is it? Yep, this is called panel. And every individual panel, I can just move through the three dots here and say undock, close. Click on the three dots here, undock, close. Undock refers to you can select and move the panel. Undock. See, the panel is totally outside. You want to join it again? You can join on the left side, join on the right side, top, bottom, or middle. I think it's very simple for you to understand this one. I don't want this panel. Click and say close panel. Now you've got enough space to work. Always keep enough space to work on your right-hand side. It can be of editing or it can be of effects. This method will not work when you're working on Photoshop. This method will not work when you're working on Photoshop. This method will work only when you work on After Effects and Premiere, editing and effects-based software. So always keep some right space for you to work. On the left side, you got a panel, and every panel will be, you can click, when it's highlighted in blue color, the panel is active. If you don't want the panel, select, close. Select, close. Select, close. Again, you want it, just drag and keep it in the left side or right side. The rest of the part you can just select, close. If you don't want all these panels together, just select and say close all the other panels in the group. I don't want all these panels to be visible. Click, close all the other panels in the group, closed. Close all the panels in the group, close. So I got enough space to work now. So I'm repeating in a fast again. You got a project window, you got a composition window, you got a timeline window, you got an effects panel. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 panels is more than enough for a person to start with any work in After Effects. If you need anything extra, you can go to Windows and choose which particular panel you require. The one which is there in tick mark is your workspace. Yep. Now what I do, let me just go to Window, Workspace, and say I need all the panels in my work. See how clumsy it is now. I just closed it. Give me 2 seconds. Every panel will be opened here, and it looks more clumsy here. You don't know where to work and where to start. That's why what I do, I create my own workspace. It is like aligning your table. On your table, I need only 2 books. I need only my mobile charger. I need only my mobile. Maybe I need only my laptop. I don't want any other books or any objects on the table. What do? You remove everything on your table. The same way you think panel or workspace to be your table. You create your own workspace. Yes, I can create my own workspace by saying edit workspace and say what are the panels are required for me. But this is a big deal. Don't do that now. I have already created the basic one. Just say it's going to be default, which I already have. Just go with Shift and F10. That is your basic keyword. Go with default. Now, whatever the things I've set here is going to be on default. So this is a first class. If you're seeing any Adobe based software, please don't get panic. Whatever I'm showing here is just a demo of the basics in After Effects for you people to understand. Okay. So the first one, to make you ease with After Effects, to make you understand After Effects is a simple software to learn. I've just created 3 different animations here. Not even, okay, I would ask this question and then I will show you what is the basic animation here. Okay, let me show you an animation here. And I guess how many people will say, what is the time limit to create this animation? I think you could see the animation here. Yep. This is the one. This is the second animation. And this is a simple third animation here. Okay, can anybody guess what is the time to do this animation part? Any guesses from here?
10 to 5 minutes, sir.
Okay, any other? Any other guesses?
Around 10 minutes.
Okay.
2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. Fine. Let's do it. Whether it's going to have for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes. I'm going to create the same animation for you. Anybody is having a counter can have your counter here. Let me just say GUVI. Select it, and you got lots of animations preset in After Effects. You can see animation presets. When you install After Effects is going to give you lots of animations, which is presets for titling. So anybody who are learning with After Effects, you want to practice with keyframes, don't start animation directly, start with presets. No trainer will say you to use presets, but I used to say. The reason is, once you start using presets and find how the animation is happening. Now I'm going to use animation presets, text. I have these many presets with me to work. Generally, before I start with any training in After Effects or in any motion graphics, I ask people to use presets. Why presets is used? Let me give an example. Let me say I need to use a blur. I'm going to use a blur, Ziggy. Drag and drop on your text. Work is done. Play with your spacebar. Use spacebar in your keyboard to play. It's so simple as such to use a preset. Now, let me just open this text and open the text information and find out this animation. I'm going to just say Ziggy and find out the animation blur. When you look into it, it's blurred. It doesn't take even 10 to 15 seconds for me to create an animation inside. And why I ask you to learn through presets, the reason is when I say this particular effect, maybe I say After Effects, I can just alter my effects and find out how good I am in animation. Timing, expand and find out your effects and then find out the path options. Everything you can expand and find out where is your animation is all about. Now, when you say how the animation is happening here, you can see the changes over here. First and foremost thing, before you're learning with any type of an animation inside, you need to understand how to set a keyframe. Now, why presets is helpful? The keyframes is preset here. It's already set here. That is why it is called as preset. Now, whatever the animation I make here, the keyframe is preset. Let me give a name preset and do an animation for preset itself. I take this. Let me say I need to convert into 3D text. Just simply drag and drop into 3D text. You can see now animation is happening here. One second. Let me make a simple animation because Sometimes it takes buffering time to do it. Is the animation visible? I'm just dragging and showing you the animation here. Yes, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it visible for everybody? Now, why preset? The big question mark. I'm going to give an answer here. Now you will learn when there is a keyframe here, find the keyframe there. And if your keyframe has a distance in between one frame to another frame. For example, your animation starts maybe exactly at 2 seconds and ends at 4 seconds, which means the total duration of your animation is going to be 2 seconds. Yep. The total duration of your animation is going to be 2 seconds. Okay. If anybody can just give me a simple understanding, I need this animation to be a little bit slower. Means I need it to make it play a little bit longer. What can I do?
So distance between the two keyframes.
Simple as such. Drag the frame, place it somewhere farther so that you people can change the timing in animation, not motion in animation. I'm repeating again. When you move the keyframe from the first keyframe to the last keyframe, there will be change in timing in animation. Now you play it. It takes time to play the animation. That's why you need to first practice with preset. Once you practice with preset, you'll understand how to understand and adjust to the keyframe. Now I want this to happen within a second, the total animation. Check it. Finished. I want it to happen within half a second or maybe within certain frames. Done. Is it? I want it to happen very slowly. Move the keyframes. See, it takes too much of time. Delayed, slowly it used to work. Am I clear with this concept? Yes. Can I get yes from everybody here? Please raise your hands or something. Any vibe from the other side? Then I also get a vibe to speak out. Yes. I couldn't see. Okay, eight raise hands, 9, 10. Thank you. Fine. So now let me jump directly into the software. I think this is a very basic one which I have taken for you, which I used to take generally on the day 1 class. So let me directly jump into the work which I've already done for you to show for the today's project. So let me just open a new project today and show you something which I have created for the classes exclusively. So now we are going to use all these 3 individual concepts in one single animation: your visualization, your timing, your motion. Controlling the motion based on the timing is going to be much important. Keep the visualization ahead. Controlling the motion based on the timing. I'm repeating again 3 times. Controlling the motion based on the timing. Controlling the motion based on the timing. Controlling the motion based on the timing. Fine. Let me just open After Effects. I'm going to open the already created project. I'm going to recreate the project for you by controlling the motion based on the timing. So these 2 things are the prior work of any After Effects or any motion graphics students to learn. Fine. So I've already created 3 lessons for you to practice for today and also to show as a demo. Just give me a second. Yep. One is going to be animation layer. The second one is going to be text track, and third is a trim path. So the first one, what I'm creating and showing you is animation layer. In this, I have multiple projects which I have worked for you. First one, I'm just going to show you a simple animation. And this is a simple animation. As I said earlier, we don't want this much workspace. Let me say it will be a default workspace. Give more space for you to look into it. Let me just move all these things ahead. Just give me a second. Let me close all these panels for you. Close the panel, and even undock and close this panel. I think now the screen is visible better. Yes?
Yes.
Is it? Yep. So we will just play this animation first. Now, after I'm playing the animation I'm going to play this animation for 3 times, just to make you people understand what are the key elements used in motion graphics. So we saw three things: one, typography; two, shapes or colors, on colors, which can be or and that doesn't matter. Shapes and colors and typography, right? Now, first thing, play. There's a text. I'll play it again. There's a text which appears, hold for a second, then disappears. The moment when it disappears, I got a PNG image, which is background transparent image, which comes and plays there and then moves away. And then I get a text again and moves away. I'm repeating it again. Let it play continuously on a loop. Fine. Yes. Can we work on this project now? Yeah. Can
Yes.
we? Yeah. I think there's a QA. We definitely understand. By online classes, we will definitely understand the from basic to advanced level. Yes, Mahesh Kaja. You'll be understanding from the basic to the advanced level. That is only based on the practice what you do and the projects what you do. So you have to choose a proper project first of all to start up understanding on any motion graphics. So from the day one, you're learning Photoshop or Illustrator, then Premiere, then After Effects. You need to have your visualization, what project you're going to give us an output. It can be of anything, any project, okay? And then I have another question on a chat, I guess. I think somebody said yes, thank you. Fine, let me start with this project now. Now, this is a very simple project where more than 15 elements, that is motion graphics, you can say this can be a mantra for motion graphics. More than 15 elements will make a proper motion graphics animation. 15 elements. One element is equal to multiple animations. One element is equal to multiple animations. Keep this in your mind. More than 15 elements will make a good motion graphics output. Now, here, I think somebody has to mute. So, like more than multiple, okay, can make one single animation. Now, here we have three different animations happening, which can be considered as one single element. Understand the terms I'm using. More than 15 elements can make one single motion graphics. Now I have one single element example here. This single element is saying order now. You'll get a text information, then a PNG, bike animation, and then a text information. These three is combinedly giving you one single output. Now let me do this practically for you. Hide all these layers. I have a background. I'm hiding the background. Let me create a new background layer and just say a solid layer. Solid layer in After Effects is nothing but you're giving a default background, like how you do in Photoshop or maybe in any image-based software. So let me create a simple background and just say OK. And then I'm just going to not use text. I'm going to use image initially for you to understand. So what I do, let me expand this image. Since I've shown you the keyframes animations there, I'm showing you the keyframes, what I have done here. So let me switch it on and delete this keyframe so that I can do it from first. I've deleted the keyframes. Here, as I said earlier, you're going to work on STR, scaling, rotation, position, or transformation. So basic three things which makes your animation fast and easier is going to be STR, which is nothing but scaling, transformation, position. If you're able to control all these three, your animation is perfect on a proper timing. Now what we do here, I'm going to use only position. I'm not going to use any other thing. Sorry, transformation, position, rotation. So I'm not going to use any of the properties. I'm going to use only the position property here. Position means moving from X to Y location. Either it can be on X-axis or it can be on a Y-axis. I think you people know what is an X and Y-axis, right? So Y-axis will be on a vertical and X-axis will be on the horizontal. Is that right?
Yes.
Sure. Yes. So axis on Y is going to be your position Y. Axis on X is going to be on the horizontal. Now I want to move this particular element from left to right. So all I can do, say After Effects, can you please move this person from left to right? So first I'm going to do step-by-step animation. Watch it, very simple and easy to understand. So before I'm starting with any animation here, I need to add a keyframe. What I do, I add a keyframe. So to add a keyframe, so any animation you're going to make it, you need to add a keyframe. So to add a keyframe, I'm just going to click on this button. I think this button is visible for everybody. This is going to be start the keyframe. Don't add twice, just click. Once you click, you can look into it. There is a blue small diamond shaped icon over here that is called keyframe. Now, once the keyframe is created, which means once the keyframe is created, which means you can move, rotate, scale, move, rotate, or scale, or work on any elements to motion graphics. Move on any elements to motion graphics. Now, what I do, I keep this in the left position. I don't want to move it manually. Never do the mistake on any motion graphics software. Don't use your mouse to move. Use your values to move. Don't use your mouse to move. This is wrong habit. Use your values to move. So I got a keyframe here. I'm going to move it to left-hand side, totally left-hand side. Okay. Let me just pull down. This is going to be on position, on position, on position. Now I got totally left-hand side, which is minus 406. Let me say it's going to be minus 400. It's gone totally left-hand side. I added a keyframe. Now I'm going to move this totally to the right side. That is my second keyframe where I need within maybe 2 seconds, I add a keyframe here. You can see a keyframe button here and it is insisting add or remove keyframe. Click on it. Just click, you'd add a new keyframe here and then move this to the right position. Don't stop anywhere, move this to the right position. So now you have moved the object from one position to another position. The very basic animation I have done here. Don't judge by this animation. This is motion graphics. This is an elementary basics, what I am starting. Now it is moving slowly, like 1960s. Let it go. Any background score for me? Anybody can give you your voice for this. See how slowly the person is going. I think he's not Swiggy or Zomato or some other new company. See, now from left side to the right side, I got a simple animation happening. Is it interesting? For how many people it is interesting, the person moving from left to right? For how many people it is not interesting? Just give me a genuine answer. So for how many people it is interesting, the person moving from left to right? Any answers? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So how many people it is quite interesting from moving from left to right?
Not that, sir.
Not interesting. That's okay. For others? Any other answer so that I can continue? Any other answer?
So it is not that much interesting.
Very good. I was expecting the same from everybody because this is not animation at all. Whatever we have done is moving from left to right. That's it. But two key elements which we have seen when we started. One, moving. Second is motion. Is it right? Timing and motion. Do you remember what we have seen? Timing, motion. Is it? Timing and motion.
Yes, sir.
Timing and motion. Did we apply this?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you visualize what to do? Did we visualize what to do? I should ask like this because I am the person who is doing it. So we didn't visualize what to do. What we visualized is to move the person from left to right. I am done with this. So this part is over. I didn't apply timing. I didn't apply motion. Yes. Now I'm going to
Yes, sir.
apply timing and apply motion to this animation. Let's do this more interesting. Now I want this person to move from left to right, but I don't want him to move like this slowly. I want him to stay in a position. Maybe here, maybe here. I want him to stay. Can we make him stay? Yes. I add a keyframe.
Yes.
I added a keyframe. Will he stay?
No.
Let's play. I asked him to stay, but he's not staying at all. The reason behind is I didn't maintain that timing in animation. Now I'm going to play it again, and I say, brother, please hold there for a second. What should I do now? I just move my keyframe ahead. I say this person, can you
Adding
please,
another keyframe.
simple as such, you copy this keyframe and say, brother, can you please stay in the same position for certain seconds? Simple. Hold it. He will come inside. Stay. Why he's dancing? Any reasons you can say why he's dancing? As you said, I copied the keyframe. As you said, I paste the keyframe. Yes. Then why is dancing there? Any answers?
Because it is get looping of that previous position.
Okay.
Sir, we need
Okay.
to change the value
Okay. Okay,
of
fine.
position.
Now he is in the left-hand side. Now let me get him inside. Let me add a keyframe for a position. And this position, he'll be there in the middle. First, copy this keyframe and go for certain seconds and paste the same keyframe. Now you pitch, okay, let him go in and he will stay. Yep. Now check it again. A, and he will stay. He is staying. Now, did we apply this particular concept in our animation? Yes, timing is applied. Motion is not yet applied. Timing is applied. What timing we applied, what concept we applied over here is, I add a starting keyframe, then I have a mid keyframe where the person has to stay, and I added another keyframe where I don't change the value because I want that particular animation to be stayed for a certain fraction of seconds. This is what the basics in animation in motion graphics. Now, I say very simply, I want him to come very fastly and stay here. What should I do now? I want it to come like a speed, jet speed, and stop. What can I do?
First,
So
keyframes.
but
I'm going to
motion-
move both these keyframes and keep it very near to the first keyframe. Play it now. Is it happen? Play it now. Play. Fast. Is it fast? Can you see the previous one? This is the previous one. He comes very slowly and he stopped. So what we have done is move the keyframe and keep it nearby, which means I'm changing the timing in animation. Now it's very fast and he holds for a time, hold. So this is the word I'm using now. I'm trying to change the keyframe and hold the animation with same value for the keyframe. It will be a little bit difficult to understand in this stage, but I'm just keeping you posted to understand this basics. You're holding the keyframe with the same value for the animation. Now, next step, what I need to do is the same time frame, I want him to go outside, get out. Can we play this? 1, 2, 3, play. Fast, stay for a while, get out. Is it quite interesting than before?
Yes, sir.
For how many people it is interesting than before? Raise your hands. Let me see how many is coming. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Only 12 out of 45, only 15. Oh God. Okay, anyways, thank you. Now what we do is we make it more interesting. Let me, I think I'm coming on to your track of motion graphics basics. Now I'm playing it. He comes very fastly and stops there for a while and goes very fastly outside. Let me say, I want him to come like a jet speed, like Vande Bharat. Let me move my keyframes next to next. Now you see, your eyes will not believe yourself. Is that clear? What I'm saying with keyframes, is it clear for you people? Like fast, stop there for a while, fast, run away. How is it? A bit improved?
No, sir. It was very fast.
Yeah, I can understand, but I'm saying changing the keyframes will change your animation. That is what I mean. Not about how good is the animation now. So, A runs away. Okay. Make this animation a little bit more interesting by adding a motion blur. This is what the next step, what we do in animation is adding a motion. Now, adding a motion is not moving an object from place to place. Adding a motion is not moving from one place to another place. Adding a motion is making your eye to believe that it is in motion. Have you ever captured through your mobile a moving object? How many yes? Have you ever captured a moving object? Yes? Any yes? Any guess? Any yes? Any guess? Yes? No? Something? I will show you. When you capture a moving object, what exactly happens? It's called motion blur. Have you ever felt this kind of a blur when you're capturing a moving object? Yes? You have seen this anytime? When you capture through your mobile? Some people have raised their hands. Yes, please go ahead. Okay, generally you're raising your hands. There is a QA. So just give me a second. There is somebody who is asked, sir, I don't have much creative thoughts and design skills before I start the design. I got tens based on the course. How come I can learn and skills effectively? Let us know about this thing. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Mahesh Kaja has raised this question at 7:20. Let me answer this and come back to the subject. Mahesh, creative thoughts is something not in books. Creative thoughts is nothing in books. And creative thoughts is nothing taught by anybody like me, like Satya or like Nitya or somebody who is teaching motion graphics. Creative thoughts is something what you visualize. If you can post an Insta reel by yourself, you're creative today. In the age of 2023, if you can post any reel in Instagram, just they have channels in Instagram posting just a cooking, roadside cooking video. That is also creative today. So don't think that creative thoughts is something which comes somewhere from heaven or from books or somebody who is teaching you. Creative thoughts is something which you visualize yourself. You think this is output has to be like this. And if you're able to get that output, your thought is creative. You are going to make that output. So I think you have to build up your basic understanding about yourself, Mahesh. Yeah. So, okay, let me continue with the subject now. Now, let me make more interesting, as I said earlier, I'm going to give a close off for this session. Now, let me just say an animation is happening here. Play, stop, and then it goes out. Now, let me make it more animatic and more motion graphics effects to it. There's an option called motion blur. You can see an option here that when we are learning, I'll just show you again. When we are learning it, we will show it again to you. Now I'm going to add a motion graphics to it. Add a motion graphics. Add a motion graphics. Now let me play this one. What difference could you find? Any difference can you find? Can you find this? Any raise hands for this?
Blur.
Yep. Motion blur. That is what I am showing you over here. Now, faking the eyes with the additional blur is possible in motion graphics. Now, when it happens in real time, it is not able to capture in your camera, in mobile camera, but can be captured with the shutter speed in a normal camera. But when you work on animations, we can't do that. That's why there is an option called motion blur. If you disable this motion blur, it looks more blunt. It doesn't look interesting at all. When you are enabling the motion blur here for the animation you make, you can see the motion is captured with animation. See now Now let me just stop this for a while and move this ahead somewhere here. Now you can see fast, but you can see the motion also. It comes fastly, stays there. That's it. You want it make it more fast? My understanding, this has to have a keyframe which is next to each other so that it comes very fast and leaves very fast. Now you say play it fast, out, fast, out. Staying is in your hand. You can stay it how many hours, seconds, or minutes you wanted. Sorry, not minutes, only seconds. Out. I can play fast. Out. That's it. This particular concept, if you're clear about it, you can start mastering the same concept for multiple elements within a single image. Now, I have the same keyframe, copy it. What After Effects is giving you, I'm giving the same keyframe, copy it. I don't want any animation for this. I delete all these animations. I'm going to paste the same keyframe for order now and paste. Order now. Can you please come in? Out. Is it visible? Come in. Again, let me play. Out. Have the same animation which I have for this. I'm going to just simply change the position of both. Want me to change? I can do it, but not interesting to change the positions here. If I change the position, then it becomes more clumsy. Now, let me play it again. In, out. Same animation, I've copied and pasted for the no text. In, out. Yes. I'm going to stop here and let's discuss something about this particular lesson, and then we go, if we have time, we go for the second one. Yep, there is a 3 chat here. Balaji say yes and Ramdeep say yes. Fine, I'm just stop sharing it. Let me switch on my cam. Yes, yes, we can go with the QA. There's no power in my place, so I'm sorry for that. I'm looking a bit dirty. I don't have a power here. And there's running an inverter. Yes, who is the first question? Mohammed, please go ahead. Vichitra, Suhasini. Yeah, whoever is free can go ahead. Anybody there to ask a question? Am I audible? Hello. Yeah, Mohammed. You can raise your hand and you can unmute yourself and you can pose your question, please. Vidya, am I audible? Vidya? Vidya, you're there?
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we didn't have any request. Yeah, is there anyone like you want to ask something? Any questions? Or you want me to continue?
No, sir. You can continue.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's fine.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. So let me just close this point. And this is a simple animation which we had a discussion today. Okay. Just finding out what exactly has to be delivered now. Okay. So this is one simple animation which I can show you in another 5 minutes, which we generally have in versions of 2020 and later. That is going to be bend option. Now, this is just a Very basic animation I've done for you. You can use any type of a key element to do this animation. Yeah. Now let me share my screen. Okay, now I have shared my screen. You can see my screen, I guess. Yep. So this is a very basic animation which you can work on using bend. Now, if you look into it, this seems a little bit funny, but it has its own animation properties here. Now, this animation property, what we use here is a simple option called bend. Now, let me expand this one and show you. I have an image on the top of it where I use an effect here called CC bend. Now, you're getting any property from After Effects from Illustrator and Photoshop, you're going to bring it as a PNG. Now, let me bring that for time being with Canva because I don't have installed with the Illustrator for time being. Don't use Canva. Again, I'm saying, please don't use it. This is only for your practice purpose. I'm going to get an element inside to make use of bend. So let me just say elements, tree, graphics, and bring a tree image for you to practice now. Yeah, okay. Let me choose this tree image. Share it. Download a PNG file. Okay, so let me switch off both. I got a PNG file inside to work on. PNG is generally called as Portable Network Graphics. This is a full form of it. Advantage of using PNG is going to be transparent image. The background, what you see is transparent. To make you understand, let me create a new solid layer in the background with a different color. So you can see the background is purely transparent. That is why we are using PNG. When you use the same image as a JPEG, when you try to use the same image as a JPEG, Joint Photographic Experts Group, background will not be in transparent. This is the difference between PNG and JPEG. Suppose you are working on any software like Photoshop or Illustrator, you want to bring your image into After Effects, you have to bring in layers based on PNG sequences or PNG. You cannot bring it as a JPEG instead. Now, let me use bend. Bend is the one which helps you to do more motion graphics animations basically. Now, I'm going to directly use bend by using Windows effects and get the essential graphics inside. I'm using all the panels of essential graphics. Here under effects and go with bend. I got two options here. One is going to be bend it, the other one is bender. I can use bend it. I can just drag and drop into my composite. The moment I drag and drop here and expand this, you can see I got an expansion here. I think it's visible for you people. I have expanded here. Effects, bend, and click on to the top. Check now. Click on to the top and click this on to the bottom. Now, when you try to bend, see what magic happens. You could see this? Yes? I think it's visible. Any hand raises for this? Is it visible? Yep, yep, yep. Fine, fine, that's fine, that's fine. So bend helps you to easily animate any graphics which you bring inside. Now, how this is easy for you to work on? When you try to bring any character inside this particular After Effects, you can easily bend that character the way how you want it, but this doesn't work for the internal animations like eyes or hands or limbs or maybe for mouth. These things it do not work. Don't try for human characters. Try only for non-human characters and cyborg characters. or it can be for any type of a creative or background elements like this. Now you can use this bend for multiple elements. All you need to do is set up a bend path and you need to just simply make this animation. And you can bend it the way you want it. Multiple bends you wanted, you can use it for one single as multiple bend. The same way, we have an animation setup, which is easy for you to work on. It's bender. This has a style, different types of style to bend. You can see this. Let me just adjust this and then I will show you 1 and then 2. And now you use bend the way you want to bend it, you can bend it. But this is going on this morph. Let me say a default bend. How you wanted to morph and bend, you can bend it. These are some of the default animation techniques which is available in After Effects for motion graphics. So bend, why I give such an emphasis for you, when you try to work on certain animations. For example, I have an animation to show up to you. See this. I show a wiggle based animation here. See, this is a wiggle based animation for the chips. This animation of wiggle based, when you look into it, this motion graphics, like you can see, it is continuously moving. At the same time, we can use bend and make that flip animations also over here. Now, this is very quite interesting for somebody who want to work on 2D image to show in a 3D perspective or a 2D image in a different perspective. Now, this wiggle, forget about it. Since you people have joined today for this particular class, I'm showing how to give wiggle. You can practice this too. This will be the last point what I'm teaching you today. You practice wiggle also with the bend animation. See, generally they don't teach that in a demo class, but I'm showing it to you since you people are sincerely hearing for a long time. As simple as such, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Let me switch it off. So this is my text or image. This is my text or image. I have a position. I have an expression to type. They don't teach expressions in any motion graphics studios or institutes, but we will teach basics of expressions, which is helpful for you. Now, this particular expression or script which we type here is easy for any non-coder also. What I say to this particular image here, to wiggle. Wiggle is nothing but it has to move continuously. Now, under position, I just say, can you please move continuously for how many times of which degrees? For example, I just say like 90 and press enter. When you play this, sorry, yeah. When you play this, what exactly happens here is it will continuously go on wiggle. You can see the animation. See this. Now, where I can use this kind of a wiggle animation is when you are trying to float the object in your motion graphics. As I said, multiple elements will make one particular motion graphics. Now, you want to float an object, wiggle is the best example to work. Now, you are going to create hundreds of chips and it's going to float on the air. You are making an animation such way. Wiggle is the best option to do it. You want to float some object on the air and it has to happen continuously without any control by individual. Through the expression, wiggle is the best option. Like wiggle, we have many expressions to teach in future classes, but wiggle is a very basic expression. Anybody can do it without having any coding language. Fine. I think with this, I'll close the session of the whole. I've taken 3 different things. 1, timing and motion in animation. 2, I've taken wiggle. 3, I've taken a simple bend option. That's not a big deal to teach bend option, but even then I've shown you because how fun it is to learn motion graphics when you take After Effects. Somebody is asking why I taught bend here, because to make you easily enter into the software and see these are the things are given freely inside After Effects. You might have seen such kind of motion graphics in many YouTube channels or many channels outside, but they try to make it manually through animation. But when it comes to After Effects, we have like bend, we have multiple things which you can download the plugins, put inside After Effects, and start using like wiggle, like bend, like wiggle, like we have motion array, then we have caustics, we have generations, I mean, which create generators, which create automatic animations for any subject which you give inside for the motion graphics. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you.